me, speaking to the children of Israel, that they go forward.
Go ahead and read.
But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thy hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea.
So now he said, you just lift up your rod, and the children of Israel is going to go over on dry ground. Go ahead and read on.
And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, that they should follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh, and upon all his hosts, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen.
Go ahead and read.
And the Egyptians should know that I am the Lord, when I have got me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of God, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them.
So now he said a pillar of cloud went before their face and stood behind. So you know you got the pillar of the cloud and you got the fire by night. And this is the hand of the Lord that is delivering Israel. Go ahead and read on.
And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel.
Go ahead and read.
And it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night.
Go ahead and read.
And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided.
So now you know the Lord done split the sea, and he done caused Israel to go over dry shod, right? Now let's go and look at when the Lord going to deliver Israel the second time here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. Isaiah 11, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. 11 and 1. 11 and 1. So now it was Jesus that did it the first time. Show you who it is that's going to do it the second time. Isaiah 11 and began at verse 1. 11 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his root.
Now you know who this branch is that's coming out of Jesse? This is Jesus. Show you what he's going to do. Skip down now to verse 11. Go ahead and read.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall send his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Now when was the first time when he brought them out of Egypt? When is the second time when he gathered them out of all nations wherein they have been scattered? Go ahead and read on.
Which should be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the isles of the sea.
Go ahead.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Now he's going to set up an ensign for the nation. He's going to assemble an outcast of Israel. Go ahead and read on.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Now I want you to skip down to verse 15 and continue reading. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea. And with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river.
Now he said with his mighty wind, he going to shake his hand over the river. Go ahead and read on.
And shall smite it in the seven streams. And make men go over dry shod.
Now when he brought Israel out the first time, what did he do? Then he split the Red Sea.
Yes, sir.
And then Israel go over dry shod.
Yes, sir.
Well, when he gathered them the second time, what's going to happen? He going to make men to go over dry shod. Read a little bit more.
And there shall be an highway for the remnant of his people.
And there will be a highway for the remnant of his people. Who is his people? There is Israel. Go ahead and read on.
Which shall be left from Assyria. Like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt.
What it said, like as it was in the day when he brought them out. Everything is done like it was when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. Everything done the same way. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
Verse 12.
Finish that verse.
I finished that. That was the end of 16.
Okay, now let's go back to Exodus chapter 19, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 1. Exodus 19, and we're gonna look at verse 1. 19 and 1. Now he done brought them out, and he have taken them into the wilderness. That is where he took them. Exodus 19, and we'll pick it up at verse 1. 19 and 1. And this is what he did with them when he got them there in the wilderness. 19 and 1. Go ahead and read.
In the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
See where they came? They came into the wilderness of Sinai. That is where they came to. Go ahead and read.
And for they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai.
Go ahead.
And had pitched in the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mount.
Go ahead and read.
And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel,
Go ahead and read.
You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
Now the Lord said, I bare you on eagle wings, and I brought you unto myself. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed.
Now he said, if you will obey my voice and keep my covenant as well. Go ahead and read on.
And keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
Go ahead.
For all the earth is mine. And you
now he said, now if you obey my voice and if you keep my covenant, then you will be a peculiar people unto me. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
Verse 6.
And
ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
Go ahead.
And a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord has spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord.
So now, you know, he done made this covenant. I want you to keep this in mind too, because now he done brought them out. And then he done brought them to the wilderness, and he have made this covenant with them, and they have agreed to this covenant. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
Verse 9.
And
the Lord said unto Moses,
Go ahead.
Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee.
Go ahead.
And believe thee forever.
Now the Lord said to Moses, you know, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people might hear thee when I speak unto thee and believe. In other words, they're going to hear me when I speak. Go ahead and read on.
And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow.
Go ahead.
And let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai.
Now he said, let them be ready against the third day. The Lord going to come down, and he going to deal with the people from Mount Sinai. Skip down now to verse 16, and continue reading. Go ahead and read.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount.
Go ahead.
And the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
Now notice you got the blowing of the trumpet here, don't you? Because the Lord is showing up here now, isn't it? And you got the blowing of the trumpet. Go ahead and read on.
And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God. And they stood at the nether part of the mount.
Go ahead and read.
And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace.
Go ahead and read.
And the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice.
So now, you know, you got this blowing of this trumpet here, and it's sounding louder and louder. And now Moses spake, and God answered him by voice. Go ahead and read that next verse.
And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai, on top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the mount, and Moses went up.
Now, let's go on into the 20th chapter here, because this is the Lord. He is speaking directly to the people. Now, 20 and 1. Go ahead and read.
And God spake all these words, saying.
Now, God spake all of these words, saying, and all of the people heard him. Go ahead and read a little bit more.
I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
And he said, don't have any other gods before me. Go ahead and read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Go ahead and read.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. We're going to pick it up. So now, you know, you got the Lord. He done came down and he done stood on the Mount Sinai. You know, you had the